Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Dwayne with Off Grit. Today I'm inside my earth bag building, the one that I made out of sandbags about a year ago. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some soilless growing techniques that I've been experimenting with and show you some of the harvests that I have. So here we go. This is a flood table. And I had built this flood table. It has a pond liner in it, and there's a pump down here. There's a reservoir. I can fill this table up with water, set the level, and it will continuously flow because there's a pipe that goes back. There's a drain over here. That being said, right now what I've been doing is experimenting with some soilless growing just to dial things in a little bit before I turn this whole table into a soilless growing table. And I'm going to be growing mostly microgreens here, and I just wanted to show you guys what I got going on right now. So this right here was a salad mix. This is kale mostly. It's got some other stuff in it, but kale it looks like predominantly. And I just wanted to show you guys underneath here, under the hood. So you can see right here, right? This is a screen. So this is actually a piece of screen that I laid down in this tray, and inside the tray I was actually just using bottle caps to kind of keep it off of the bottom here a little bit. So basically give it some space, fill the water up to that cap level. So here, I'll just show you right here. So you can see right there, okay, so I got these caps here that I would set in here and fill the water up just above those caps. And then what I would do is I would set the screen on top of those caps. Now these caps will provide some stability for the screen. Otherwise, the screen's just going to sag into the water, okay? Because you want it sitting in the water, but not too deep. Now, here's the way this is ultimately going to work. So right here, this is these are radishes. Radish microgreens are some of the easiest microgreens to grow. So if you want to start fast, hit the ground running, try these. But if you don't like radishes, then you definitely don't want to grow these. Freaking fly here, get out of here. Yeah, that's part of the problem too, is you got to keep contaminants out of here. I don't want flies in here. So anyways, you can see here, these are just seeds, right, that I spray with the light hydrogen peroxide water mixture, mostly water. I cover them up. I put them in my incubator over here where I can set the temperature. This was made with an old chicken incubator. I cut the front off it and took the incubator face off of it and attached it to this plastic bin. Insulation around it here to keep it warm, and I can set whatever temperature I want for incubation. So I can set these trays inside my incubator over there to the right temperature, and then once they get to about this size where they're just starting to sprout, then I pull them out of there and I'll put them in the light here. Now, what's cool about this is that underneath here, this is just a silicone mat, okay? And you can see it's got little holes in it. It's a silicone mat. And the mat itself, let me pull this out of here and show you, is sitting inside a web tray. Okay, these are just web trays. You can get them online. You can get them anywhere that sells gardening supplies. And you can see the roots are popping through here, okay? Now, what I've done is I've taken some old plastic sports drink bottles and I've cut them, you see, so I cut them just enough to where they're just at the tip of the surface of the water here. Fill the water into this tray, and then I will take, and this is just another greenhouse tray, and then I'm going to take this tray and set it right on top like that. And then what will happen is those roots will just grow down into, as the water depletes, the roots are going to grow down. So what this ultimately is this is a self-watering technique for microgreens. You can do it with normal greens, actually, because I'll show you here. I got a couple greens that are actually a lot bigger than microgreens. But basically, if you do it with a tray like this, you could basically set it and forget it once you've got it in there. And that's plenty of water to grow a whole cycle of microgreens. That's actually more than enough water. So that's the idea. So I don't have to keep coming in here and checking on them. And, you know, I got all these things going on in a homestead. I'm trying to build a house. I'm trying to set up my outdoor gardens. I'm trying to feed animals. I'm trying to build, etc., etc. So I don't have time to forget things like this, you know, because what'll happen is you get this list about a mile long of things to do. You want to try to automate things as much as possible. I would say in the homesteading world, that's one of the things you really want to strive to get to is automation. You know, you want to be self-sufficient, but you don't want to be doing little chores all day. So you try to automate things as best you can. And with this growing technique, what'll happen is you can picture that. Now picture this whole table, right, filled with microgreens that I will be able to grow and take to market and sell as part of my products. Actually, could just grow normal greens. I don't even have to do microgreens. We'll just wait and see. So that's what I'm doing in here, folks. Now, another thing here you can look at, this is, I want to say butter crunch lettuce. It doesn't matter the type of lettuce right now because this was just an experiment. So I'll show you here. This is more soilless growing. This is broccoli. You can see right there. This is actually carrots. Yep, folks, carrots. You can grow carrots like microgreens. So you can see right here, okay? Same thing on a screen. They're growing on a screen right now, but eventually what I'll have is silicone mat just like this that'll sit on top of these web trays, and these web trays are gonna sit in my flood table like this, going all the way down. And then this whole table will have lights here that'll be growing my greens. Now, this is all run by my solar setup as well. So this is going to be pretty much automated for the most part. The only non-automated part is just me germinating the trays, and I set the trays in here to germinate. You can see the potential here with this, all right? So this is pretty sweet. Now, you can see the lettuce here, but same thing, growing, no soil. I've had this growing for a while. Look how full these are. So I can just come in here and cut these off with scissors. Now, what I'll do is before I harvest them, I have another tray here set up with water and hydrogen peroxide in it. It's a heavy dose of hydrogen peroxide. So what this will do is help clean the roots out a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is just take a good old-fashioned pair of scissors like this. I'm going to cut the tops of these greens off. I'm going to set them in my bag right here. And then I'm going to make a mix and put it in my refrigerator. And then all I'll have to do is a light rinse. Now you can see the potential with this. Soil growing is awesome, but sometimes like when you're growing indoors, especially indoors, one of the things that you got to deal with is dirt has bugs, okay? And if you start growing inside, I've done it. I did it for years over at my other place over in suburbia. You're going to start having bugs. You're going to have aphids, you're going to have flies, you're going to have all kinds of stuff in your house, and it's not fun unless you put a screen up around it. But even with the screen, now you're just containing the bugs inside there. So growing with dirt is not really ideal indoors. I'll tell you that. I've done it. So I like the soilless growing. I like it for this. I love hydroponics. I always have. So this is something that's really interesting to me, and I think I'm going to take this to the next level here pretty soon. I'm excited about it, as you can tell. Now, you can see here I got some strawberries growing. These are strawberry plants. These are just rooted plants that I got at, I think, Lowe's or Home Depot, you know, the little packs you get where the roots are already in them. Now, I just set these up hydroponically instead of putting them in dirt, because I'm going to grow these, you know, hydroponic strawberries. This right here, if y'all remember way back when, I have a link for the video below, but I did a video on hydroponics and using recycled materials. This is a coffee container, and this is a coffee pod from one of those Keurigs, okay? Now, if you remember this, one guy named it Popeye, and this is a spinach plant, so some people thought I was using that as code or something. It really was spinach. So this is a spinach plant, and you can see how good it's doing now versus when I started it, which it was that big. And this, let me take this out of here to show you the roots here. And look at that root system there. Now this is being grown inside Master Blend. That's the name of the fertilizer that I use here. So I mix, it's a 3-part fertilizer, calcium nitrate, Master Blend, and magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salt. So you put the mix in here, you put this in, you see I got all these little holes in here that I made with the wood burning kit. I put the holes inside on the Keurig cup, And then you make the hole for the lid here just enough to where this will sit inside there like that. And then you fill up the solution up to where it touches the bottom of the cup. Inside the cup, I have cocoa core, which is coconut husk, ground up real fine. And that's all I do. So I take the little transplanted seedling, I put it in here, put it under the grow lights, and there it is. That's what it's doing. So it's getting pretty big. And I'll probably be eating that one soon. So that's that.